44 degrees, dry and clear at MetLife Stadium in the New Jersey Meadowlands as the New York Jets take the field. And quarterback Tim Boyle will make his first start as a Jet against MVP candidate Tua Tagovailoa and the Dolphins on this Black Friday special on Prime Video. Al Michaels with Kirk Herbstreit, Kaylee Hartime. For the long-suffering Jets fan base, they had Super Bowl dreams until the fourth play of the season when Aaron Rodgers tore his Achilles. So here we are. The team is 4-6. Their playoff hopes are hanging by a thread. They start a career backup quarterback today in place of Zach Wilson and Tim Boyle. So tell me, it begs the question, how does a team averaging 15 points a game, the Jets, beat a team averaging 31 points a game?
So you're saying there's a chance?
I'm asking you if there's a chance.
Well, I think the big thing is, Al, that Boyle comes in not to save the day and throw for 300 yards. Just be able to run an efficient offense. They need to rely on their defense and special teams and turnover margin. Doesn't have to be pretty, but just be effective and be decisive and just clean up the operation. That could give them a chance to win this game.
So the Jets go up against a team that's as entertaining as any team in the league. They're like a track meet, speed everywhere on offense. The defense seems to be coming together. 10 games in your eyes, how do they stack up?
I think anybody who watches football across the entire league, you can't help but be impressed by the speed. The quarterback right now, Tua Tagovailoa, executing at MVP level. And I think with Vic Fangio in his first year, the defense looks like it's getting better and better. So it all looks good. But this is a tricky game for them. A divisional opponent on the road. They need to show some maturity and take care of business.
Happy day after.
Yeah.
The acid's kicking in. So let's have a blast. It's the Jets and the Dolphins on this Black Friday Prime Special. Ways to watch today include our Prime Vision with Next Gen Stats broadcast featuring player tracking and defensive alerts. You can also watch along with Dude Perfect or in Spanish with Black Friday Football and Espanol. To the field we go. And to Kaylee Hartong. Kaylee.
Hey Al, Tyreek Hill asked himself, how can I become one of the best receivers of all time? He was coming off of a 1,700-yard campaign, and with Calvin Johnson holding the single-season record at 1,964, he thought this offseason 2,000. That was the mark he wanted to hit, and every day since, he told me he's woken up telling himself he is going to break this record and achieve his goal. Now 10 games in, he is on pace to do both, and he is determined to play through the pain he says he is feeling in his right hand today after injuring it Sunday. He told me it hurts real bad when he tries to catch a football. That hand is still swollen, and yet he does not expect it to limit him tonight, saying, once the adrenaline begins to run, I'll probably forget all about it.
Yeah, always a lot of fun to watch. Hurt his hand last week, but none the worse for wear. There are the standings right now. Dolphins have already had their bye. The Bills haven't. 7-3 Miami, Buffalo 6-5. Jets are 4-6. So it's never do or die really until you're dead, but it's pretty close today. Beautiful day in the Meadowlands. Jets will get the ball. Miami won the toss. They've deferred. Jason Sanders to kick off. Xavier Gipson back to receive for New York. And off we go on Black Friday from the Meadowlands, starting at the 25-yard line, and immediately we will see the new Jets quarterback. Tim Boyle went to Connecticut for 3 years, college football, then went to Eastern Kentucky for 1. Been around in Green Bay for 3 years, backed up Aaron Rodgers, went to Detroit, played 3 games when Jared Goff got hurt, went to Chicago at the end of last year, came here, and here he is. Something new, something different. Can he give them a spark? Breece Hall is the running back. And he goes nowhere against that Dolphin defense. That's Bradley Chubb right there making the stop. We were talking to Robert Saleh about the quarterback change and all of that. He says, hey, maybe he's the next Kurt Warner. They can only pray.
Yeah, exactly. I think for fans that aren't familiar with him, and many aren't, he brings poise. I think what you saw last week is when they throw the ball, one of the problems with Zach Wilson is he held the ball too long. A lot of sacks, a lot of turnovers. I think tonight it's just about cleaning things up, and when they do throw, get the ball out of his hands, especially against this Dolphins defense.
So the Jets now backup quarterbacks on the sideline. Nice run here out to the 32-yard line. Setting up a 3rd down and 2 And Jerome Baker is a little slow in arising and hops back to the defensive huddle. Third down.
Think about this. This is an offense that has scored 1 touchdown in the last 46 possessions. So for Tim Boyle tonight, it's, again, showing poise and making good decisions.
So Aaron Rodgers on the sideline.
Let's go, Oklahoma!
They do a lot of the Jets games since the injury. 3rd and 2. They go no huddle here. And you've got a flag and a free play. And the pass is caught up at the 37-yard line. So either way, they were going to wind up with a first down here because Bradley Chubb came across the line.
Yeah, showing that experience with Aaron Rodgers. You know, they used that hard count at a great time there on 3rd down and short.
So with Aaron, he was in Green Bay 3 years. 2 of those with Nathaniel Hackett, who's his offensive coordinator now with the Jets. John Hussey is our referee.
That 5-yard penalty results in a first down.
And honestly, I think that's why he's on the roster. You know, Nathaniel Hackett's background and experience with him in those couple years in Green Bay and his familiarity with the scheme. That's the thing that I think will be different to fans watching is he has command of the offense because of his time in Green Bay. He's a guy that even when he was the 3rd guy this year, he's showing up at 6 in the morning, always prepping and always showing up and doing the right thing.
And speaks glowingly of his time with Rodgers. Play action, pass is high and incomplete there, intended for Jeremy Ruckert. So for Boyle, there they are in Green Bay. You know, it's funny because you look at, and again, another shot, Rodgers, Hackett, and Boyle. We told you before, went to Connecticut, and his statistics in college were awful. The other day, in his words, he said they're piss poor, and they're worse than that. But he got a chance.
He had a great pro day, he said. Green Bay happened to be there, and they invited him in.
They did. Brees Hall is the running back, and he gets corralled behind the line of scrimmage. Jalen Phillips, number 15, is right there. That Dolphin defense, which, of course, was paling in comparison to the offense early in the season, but now really starting to come on.
Yeah, Vic Fangio, one thing you always think about is having great outside linebackers, and he's got Chubb on one side and Phillips on the other, and we always equate great outside backers in this scheme with their ability to rush the quarterback. But Vic Fangio quickly to point out how good these guys are at setting that edge. A great example there by Phillips.
So 5 wide, including Dalvin Cook, who is in the game. 4-man rush. Boyle throws, caught up at the 40-yard line, but well shy of the first down. Garrett Wilson making the catch there. So they picked up a first down off the penalty and now have to punt.
Keep in mind, we're going to talk so much about Boyle, but Robert Saw also talking to us on the field before the game. This offensive line, and we'll talk more about it. It has been, you know, a revolving door, having their 8th different offensive line combination today. So when they get in 3rd and long, they're in big trouble protecting the
15th here in the league. Most of those with the Saints early on. Braxton Berrios to run it back. Fair catch called for, made 15-yard line, and that's where the Miami Dolphins will start their first drive with Tua Tagovailoa coming out. 15-yard line. Miami begins this drive with a Mostert run. He goes nowhere, and right there, Quinnen Williams, number 95, taking him down for a loss, and now you got some action on the field, and you got flags all over the place.
With this offensive line moving around some new pieces
After the
up
play
front.
was over, personal foul, unnecessary roughness, defense number 70. That 15-yard penalty will be enforced from the previous spot. Automatic first down.
Yeah, the flags were flying. Quentin Jefferson flagged.
Well, this Jets defense came out even when we were at the break.
The penalty was a dead ball foul, so it was enforced from the end of the run. First down.
Yeah, they're bouncing around, showing a lot of energy, and then they make a big play with Quinnen Williams, and then all that is taken away because of a dead ball foul right here after the whistle with Jefferson. I mean, that was, I think the timing of that is when it was called, well after the whistle. Sometimes we see that and we think, that wasn't that bad, but I think if you realized how late it came and caught the attention of the official.
The enforcement of the penalty was after the play was over. Therefore, we're going to enforce it from the 11-yard line to the 26, and it's an automatic first down.
And Robert Saleh just took Jefferson out of the game and replaces him with Solomon Thomas.
Yeah, the intent there with the headbutt, you got a lot of energy here early, penned them back inside of 20 to 15. That's a big deal for this defense. You know, they want 3 and outs, and they want to give their offense great field position, so they make a mental error here on the first play.
Play action. Tagovailoa, the only left-handed starting quarterback in the league. It's dropped and then recovered at the 32-yard line. Mostert is there, had it, dropped it, recovered it. Ashton Davis covering on the play. Gain of 5.
Really good job by Davis there in coverage, and even a better job by the defense forcing Tua to have to work back all the way to his third option. That ball is out. It's a live ball. Miami fortunate to get back on it. They're going to take. They're actually going to challenge this, Al.
Well, Hussey goes over to check with Saleh.
The New York Jets are challenging the ruling on the field of a completed catch. Timeout.
So that challenge comes less than 4 minutes into the game. Take another look. Did he control it? Did he not? Terry McCauley indicates incomplete. We'll see. The review. The call has been reversed because it's ruled that Mostert at 2 feet down didn't take a move after that. So the Jets do win the challenge. And it makes it 2nd down and 10 instead of 2nd down and 5. But Kirk, you know, you make a challenge like that early on a relatively inconsequential play. And, you know, you wonder, does it come back, especially if you lose it, then you're only down to 1. You don't see too many early challenges.
No, you don't see that often, but I think it shows you the confidence in how much they knew that this was going to be reversed. And also, they get Tua behind the sticks by getting that incompletion.
But now Hill has it, and Hill is out of bounds after a couple. Let's take a look at some of the Tagovailoa statistics this year, and they are great. 70%, almost 3,000 yards. 2.5 to 1 touchdown to interception ratio. 21 touchdowns, 3rd in the NFL. And you think back to last year, those 2 serious concussions. He even thought about, well, maybe it's time to retire, but here he is coming back and playing great. 3rd and 8. Down the sideline. Guess who's out in front? And a saving tackle at the end of the play. And hopping away is Hill. He makes the grab. He went to the ground. He gets tripped up by DJ Reed to save a touchdown in all likelihood. But now after a 36-yard gain, Hill comes hopping off. He came out of last week's game with a hand injury for a while, got back in, and now this.
Yeah, 3rd down and long. You're going to put corners on islands. DJ Reed is very good, but you're talking about 1 of 1 with Tyreek Hill and staying with him on that slot fade. Fortunate just to catch up with him and bring him down.
So Hill on the sideline. Line of scrimmage is the 3rd. And this is Waddle. And what a 1-2 punch that is. Hill and Waddle. Jordan Whitehead is right there. And Hill in some pain on the Dolphins bench.
He got behind coverage. A great throw. The timing amazing. And just gets caught there as he was coming down with Reed making that tackle from behind. But how about how they stretch you, not just vertically, they stretch you horizontally. The pre-snap movement puts so much on the eyes of the defense, especially the linebackers and safeties.
Lead the league in scoring, lead the league in yards per game. And that's incomplete. That pass off the hands of Durham Smythe, the tight end, to make it 3rd down and 2 at the Jets' 29-yard line.
Yeah, and the equalizer tonight for this defense is got to be the defensive front, which is obviously a strength with Quentin Williams and Jermaine Johnson, John Franklin Myers. they can get pressure without having to bring the blitz. And those guys are going to have to dominate against the Miami offense. It's beat up as far as the interior. Connor Williams is fine at center, but you got a couple backups playing Eichenberg on that right guard and Lester Cotton, the same lineup they used last week in their game.
Guess who's back? That didn't take long. Sat out one play, 3rd down and 2 now. And
first charge timeout, Miami. This will be a
taken here by
30-second
Mike
timeout.
McDaniel on the Dolphins, and we go to Kaylee.
Tyreek Hill got a quick exam of his left foot while he was on the sidelines. They spatted him up and he ran right back out there. But guys, he was on the injury report week 11 because of that foot.
I'll say a quick exam. That was like going to urgent care. Drive-through.
Well, he is so motivated, not just individually, because this guy, he's on pace to go over 2,000 yards as a receiver, which we've never seen. Obviously, Calvin Johnson had a magical year, came close with his 16 games, but he's not a selfish guy. How many times have we heard from Miami folks about how hard he works in practice, what a great teammate he is, how much he energizes everybody with his approach on a day-to-day basis.
Of course, he came over from Kansas City. Great amount of success there, obviously. And then the trade. And loving it in South Beach. 3rd and 2. Here's Hill. First down. Lots more. Bounces off a couple of tackles. Takes it to about the 10-yard line. Tackled there by DJ Reed. And you got Alec Ingold leading the way with a nice block.
Al, you know it's coming. You just don't know, is he going to jet motion all the way across? I mean, Reed is out his 2nd time he's out here by himself. Now he's got to respond to this. Now he's got momentum. And instead of continuing across the field, he catches that quick throw. And look at the convoy he's got in front of him. I mean, it's tough enough to tackle this guy in space. Now you get him in space, and look at these linemen out in front, athletic, and helping him almost get to the end zone.
Drive started at its own 15 for Miami at the 12, now 1st and 10. Hill this time in the slot, fake it to him, toss it to Mostert, and stays in bounds for 3 or 4 yards. 2nd down.
And they just stay one step ahead of you with the execution. And a lot of people talk about the speed, and you should. But I think Tua Tagovailoa has taken a different step in his 2nd year with Mike McDaniel, and the execution of this offense, the things that he does pre-snap. There's so much movement, and how he is in command and how comfortable he is with what he's seeing from the defenses. He and Mike McDaniel work very, very well together and allow him to really orchestrate this offense.
It's a match made in heaven the way it looks right now.
Yep.
2nd down and 4. Toss here, slips to the outside, breaking a tackle, picks up about 1. Mostert broke away from Quincy Williams. Mostert in his 9th year in the league. You know, you're talking about speed. Guys in their 9th year in the league normally aren't what they were in the combine, but this guy is still as fast as he ever was.
Yeah, you go back and you look at his career, his first 5 years, he was just trying to make a roster. He's a lot of practice squad moments, and you think that the guy's not going to be able to do much, but look at his numbers now. I mean, he's averaging 5.2 yards a carry. I think it says it all, and a great compliment to what they do on the perimeter.
11 rushing TDs, 13 TDs total. 3rd and 3. Tua in the pocket, has time. Comes out the back door, keeps it himself, and gets upended by Whitehead inside the 5-yard line. So now you have 4th and 2. And we'll see about McDaniel's call here. You got a man. These 2 guys run the same staff in San Francisco. McDaniel, offensive pedigree. Sal, of course, the defensive pedigree. Leave the offense in here, right here. Who wins? 4th and 2. Hill split out. Now he comes back inside a little bit. Going that way. Can Hill pull it in? He cannot. Sauce Gardner covering on the plays. So there is a big-time matchup. The great receiver, the great corner, and the Jets win that mini battle to keep it scoreless with 6.5 to go in the opening quarter.
Great ball, just goes right through the hands that time at Tyreek Hill.
Okay, so they continue to work on Hill, even though he was out for only one play. Could not hold in. McDaniel checking with him.
Yeah, he'll say, man, I should have had that one. Look at this.
Yeah. Woo.
It's on to his right arm, his non-throwing arm.
What a gash.
Chunk there.
So meanwhile, from the 5-yard line now. Second drive. Brees Hall is the running back. Fake it to him. Look out in the end zone. And he squirts it away. And it's picked up by the Dolphins at the 5-yard line. But let's see what they're going to call this to begin with. It's Jalen Phillips who's there.
That's an incompletion.
Yeah. Officials checking with each other. Was the arm coming forward? There's Carl Johnson, who used to be the head of officiating. He comes in, tells John Hussey, who tells us.
Number 7 was able to throw the ball to a receiver in the area. Incomplete pass. Second down.
That's his best play here in this early part of this game. Just somehow, some way, getting that football out of his hands. Phillips has him. That looks like it's a safety, and just before he goes down, he just flips it. And fortunately for him, it's not intentional grounding where it would be a safety. He's able to just flip it out there to Bowden.
So that offensive line reconstructed. Young trying to hold off that defense. Ain't easy. Prove it again here. Cole taken down. Raekwon Davis, number 90.